everyone. My name is Ms. Mesky. I am one of the school counselors with Lancaster School District. And today we're going to be giving you a short presentation on counseling supports. Let me go ahead and upload our presentation here. So school counseling supports. What should I do if my student needs counseling support? And what can I do as a parent or guardian to help? Some things we're going to be briefly going over in this presentation include just a few counseling basics for what you can do at home to talk to your student. Second, we're going to briefly cover some crisis situations and what you can do if yourself or your student ends up in some kind of crisis situation throughout the semester. Third, some school support, some resources that we have available here at school, as well as some local mental health providers and some extra resources and where you can find those. I have this great quote here from Nitvoyevich, who says, "For every disability you have, you're blessed with more than enough abilities to overcome your challenges." And what this quote kind of means to me, and also especially in this time when there's a lot of fear and concern going on, there's a lot of different moving parts going on in our society right now, and it's very easy to get overwhelmed. And something that you can do is just try to understand that even though there's some things that are inhibiting us right now, we are blessed with abilities and resources where we can be overcomers when we're facing our challenges. So for our first step here on Counseling 101, here are some basic strategies that you can use to connect to your student at home. The first one, most importantly, is being present. Limit your distractions. Remember, the gift of time is very crucial, especially now. Just to have that one-on-one interaction with each other is focusing on the present moment instead of focusing on the future, what we're going to do next, what will the next semester look like, how am I going to get to everything. If you notice that your student is feeling overwhelmed, maybe take some time to sit down with them and just be present. Leave the phones, leave the computers alone, and just focus on being present with them. Remember to engage in active listening. And what this is listening to understand, not just listening to respond to something that they have going on, or if you're agitated, they're agitating, you feel like you can't deal right now, putting your kind of stress down for a minute so you can be active with them, being present and listening to understand what's going on with them can go a long way. Active listening also includes looking at the nonverbal and verbal language, things that people are saying. What are they doing nonverbally? Are they looking around and not really paying attention to you even though they want to talk to you? Maybe they're feeling anxiety or stress during that time if they're doing that. Are they fidgeting with something in their hands? Are they seeming a little bit out of place even when they're talking to you? All that can just be signals of something that's going on internally with your student. Another way that you can respond to students while you're active listening is saying, "I'm hearing you say," and just summarize their emotions, summarize their thought process, and see if you're understanding correctly. And I always tell students when they're talking with me, like, "Hey, if I get something wrong, you're welcome to correct me because I'm here listening to you and what's going on with you. So if I got something wrong, just, correct me on that. But this is what I'm hearing you say." Ask open-ended questions. This allows for exploration, where you can ask things like, "Tell me more about, what's going on with you. What helps you? Who helps you when you're feeling stressed out? How important is whatever the issue is to them? How did you feel when this was going on? What is it that you need from me?" These are open-ended questions. It's not just a yes or no question. It allows that time for exploration between you and your student so you can really find out what's going on with them. And our fourth counseling basic here is to be genuine. Just be real with your student, tell the truth, share personal stories only if it's appropriate and it's going to help your student out. For example, with everything that's going on now with students, we can be real with them and say, "Yeah, it's stressful right now. I'm also stressed, but I know that we have all these tools where we can be overcomers in whatever the challenge is. Or maybe they're going through stress and anxiety, and I'm sure you're also facing that. And you can say, you know what? Yeah, I face stress and anxiety too. This is what I do. These are some healthy coping habits that I have that I can pass on to you and teach you. That way they can also be overcomers in their anxiety as well. So some crisis situations, how to address your student who may be in crisis. This takes kind of counseling to a next level, but these are some things that you can do. These type of emergencies are whether a student reports abuse, if there's eating disorders going on, if you find out that they're cutting or self-harming in another kind of way, or if there's suicide ideation. For each of these, they have their own unique challenges, their own unique action steps for support for anyone who is facing or has faced these type of crisis situations. However, we'll cover a few points that are all inclusive for these crisis situations. Something that is important is, again, taking you back to those counseling basics. Be present if your student is reporting these things or if they're in the midst of something like this with you, right? Being real and being genuine, not overreacting, making sure that you're self-controlled and you're able to ask those open-ended questions. So if your student shares about these type of situations, here are some action steps for you in any of these type of crisis situations. Remain self-controlled, meaning you're controlling your own emotions and your own anxiety. Don't just go off thinking that, so a lot of parents feel like, oh man, maybe I was a bad parent, or how come I didn't see it? Give yourself some grace. Remain self-controlled and just be present with your student. Have the courage to have those difficult conversations with your student. If something's going on, again, taking you back to being genuine and being real, those are important. And it's all, remember to love first. And what do we mean by that? It takes basically taking into consideration this is what is real for your student during this time. And instead of getting maybe upset or angry or fearful, remembering to love your student for where they're at. Because if you do get very reactive in a negative kind of way, your student will most likely shut down. They won't want to talk to you. They feel like you're not maybe a safe person that they can come to. So remember to love the student first and be like, you know what, I do care for you. I am here for you. I want to hear your perspective and your side of the story. And then listen with empathy, those active listening skills that we talked about, where you're being present and you're asking them to kind of tell you more about what's going on with them, those exploration questions, as well as just having that active listening skills, saying, this is what I'm hearing you say. Is this correct, or is it something else? And letting them guide the discussion. Let's be active and proactive. If in any of these type of situations you need to seek legal action where it's appropriate, make sure that you are being proactive instead of reactive. Meaning instead of just exploding, okay, what can we do to control this situation? Do we need to get law enforcement involved? Do we need to get mental health providers involved? And we'll show you some of those mental health providers up next for those that are in school and those in the community. So some school supports, like we mentioned, we want to make sure that we have that available to you. So some counseling supports that are available through the school. You have a school counselor is available to your student and also to you at all the school sites, as well as school psychologists are also available to help you. We have school-based mental health providers. Each school is connected to at least one outside support group, whether it's Child and Family Guidance, Hathaway Sycamore, Penny Lane. All these the schools do have connections with, and we're able to give you those outside referrals when necessary. We also normally, during a normal school year, do have school-based mental health providers that do come to the school to offer counseling support to students who are referred. So some local mental health providers, we have this information here. Let me make sure I can move this out of the way here. Here we are. We have Child and Family Guidance. and the number is there. They offer school-based counseling services. I know right now they are still taking referrals and they are meeting online. We have AV, the Antelope Valley Partners for Health. You can see the number there. They offer youth and family programs. Tarzana Treatment Center is also available locally. They do a bunch of different services, whether it's substance abuse, whether it's education, counseling, case management, recovery support, all that is offered through Tarzana Treatment Center. And you're welcome to go back through this presentation at any time so you can get those numbers. We have Penny Lane, also gives mental health resources, and it's someone that you can talk to if you need help. Masada, you can see the number there, is a nonprofit organization. And here you have mental health and social services that are available to you. Hathaway Sycamores, you can also see the number here. Mental health, they are a mental health and welfare agency. So we have all these providers that are here locally. There are actually a lot more. So other available resources, if you go to our Lancaster School District website, click on Counseling on the top navigation menu, then click on Community Resources. There are a multitude of resources that are available to you, including additional mental health support. There's also resources on there for where can we get food, where can we get shelter if you are in some kind of homeless situation. That all those resources are available to you on the website. And also reach out to your school counselor at your site. They can also make sure that we get those resources available to you through email as well in case you need that. Trevor Project is another resource that is available to the LGBTQ community. They have a crisis number that is open 24/7, and it also has a text number there, which you can see on the screen. We have a crisis text hotline. You can text HOME to 741741. That is also free and accessible to you 24/7 for any type of crisis support that you may need. We have a variety of hotlines that are available as well. You have the National Sexual Assault Hotline. You can see the number here. The Domestic Violence Hotline, California Youth Crisis Line, and of course, we also have our suicide prevention lifelines that are available to you. They are available in both English and in Spanish, as are most of these. They are all available to you as well. And that concludes this very short presentation. I know we went rather quickly. If you do have any questions, again, go to the Lancaster School District website, click Counseling on the top navigation bar, go to Counseling websites for all your counselor contact information. It should be available up to you on that website. And again, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. All the counselors do have referral forms, both for parents and caregivers, as well as for students and staff. If you have any questions, please let us know, and we hope to hear from you soon. Thank you.